All right, welcome back to another episode of the Pin High podcast presented by Pin High Media. This week, we're going to talk about the USA's win at the President's Cup, why Tom Kim might be the next global superstar, and then we'll preview the Sanderson Farms with a few picks and a course preview. So let's get into it.
This is Jordan Spieth here, and
this is the Pin High podcast.
All right, episode 152. Let's get inside the ropes. President's Cup. I mean, it was interesting. It wasn't as well. The first couple of days are kind of a blowout, but like it did get a little bit closer on the last day and a half or so, where I'm not saying it was in danger, but there was some spots where the international squad started getting, confidence and momentum.
No, it was. I think there was definite. I think if a few things go the internationals' way, like we could be looking at a whole different. We could be talking about something completely different. Like it's Xander's ball goes in the water on 15, and he still makes par. If he doesn't make par in that hole, which Connor's made bogey, which is inexcusable, but if he doesn't make par on that hole, like that match is totally different. Hideki hits the Marshall in the knee and goes directly to further into the woods on 18 in his match, and then he basically makes the chip, but it hits the flag with a little too much steam. If that drops, like that's another half a point.
Right.
Basically, it's. I mean, things could have. There are a lot of things could have been changed. I first couple of days, you're right. It was kind of like, all right, they're up 8-2, like they're kind of just gonna cruise this. But when there was still like Max made that putt on 18 on I think it was Thursday, might have been Friday, but it's there are moments like that. Tom Kim. I mean, I was there on Saturday, and it was everything I saw on top from Tom Kim was just electric, and he was made putts. He was celebrating hard. He was the only guy in I think the whole field that actually pumped up the crowd in the first tee and making noise before the tee off. And he's not even on the home team.
Yeah,
that would never happen in the Ryder Cup for the away player. He was something else. He didn't even, like he went 2 and 3, but he was the energy. He kind of was the spark that the internationals needed, and it was awesome to watch. And like the U.S. just has too much firepower. That was it. And guys like Corey Connors was like Pat's guy, like our guy, kind of.
Corey Connors not a match play guy.
Corey Connors was downright like, and I'm sure he feels like terrible. Like it's like he wasn't good at all. Like him and Pendrith just were not good.
Yeah, he didn't win anything this week.
And
it's just like it comes down to the putter. Like he just doesn't putt well, and these match play events always come down to the putter.
He looked like he was about to throw up in his match on Sunday against Xander.
Yeah,
like on 17, he has like a putt to tie the hole. Like you look staying over it. Like you can tell, like he's not going to make this. There's just no chance. But again, it's just like that's like when that was one of the international team's best players or most highly ranked players, and he didn't do anything. Imagine if he even did something. Or like I think if guys like Cam Smith, Louis Oosthuizen, granted he wasn't playing well, and Sir, like those guys were on the team, like they would. I think it would have been a lot closer, obviously, but also like the U.S. should have won anyway without those guys, and like maybe they wouldn't have if those guys were on the team. That's like they didn't blow them out of the water like a lot of people thought they were, like we thought they were.
Yeah, I mean, there was some. I mean, obviously the International Presidents Cup team got kind of destroyed by the Live Golf. We kind of talked about that last week, but there were some guys there this week that really turned some heads. I mean, you did mention Tom Kim, just electric, pumping up the crowd.
He's like
at one point he did the tiger like hat throw when he made a putt. I don't know if you saw.
I was right there on 18.
Right? You got the video of that one, didn't you?
Yeah, that was awesome. And it was so he was so like you said, like he's just like he like that day he turned into one of my favorite players, like someone I'm looking forward to watching. He honestly like it's like he's like Patrick Reed, but he's not an asshole like
Yeah,
Patrick
he
Reed,
doesn't
and
cheat.
he's a very likable guy, and he's 20 years old.
Yeah.
And he's the guy who's like the spark plug for this team. Like it was so cool to watch.
Yeah, no, if you're the PGA Tour, Tom Kim's definitely a guy that they're gonna be marketing for sure, down the road.
Absolutely. For international markets, he's probably the most marketable guy. Maybe him and
Yeah.
Hideki are like the two most marketable guys now.
I mean, on the international side, who else had a good week?
I think Siwoo Kim played
Siwoo Kim
well.
played well. I did not know Siwoo Kim was uses like a long putter now. Maybe he's been hanging
Yeah,
out with Adam Scott a little bit too long, but I mean, he might need that putter because he was not a very good putter on the tour. But
no, he wasn't.
he uses a long putter now, which is interesting.
Yeah. I mean, he was fiery too. He was fiery
Yeah,
on Saturday, and he
he
was
had a
really fiery on Sunday.
little rivalry with Justin Thomas this week.
Yeah,
The rivalry that
that
we
was
didn't know we
fun.
needed. He like early in the round didn't concede a putt to JT,
It was like,
and it got
like,
like kind of fiery.
yeah, JT is also he's kind of one of those guys who gets like just butthurt about those kind of things.
Yeah,
Like no
I
matter
mean,
it could have been like it could have been anyone not giving him that putt, and he would have been butthurt about it. And, like obviously he's gonna make it, but like it's
yeah.
like
Well,
you never know in match
JT,
play.
like the U.S. team doesn't really have any villains on it right now. JT kind of assumes that role when you get into these
He's
Presidents Cup, Ryder Cups. Like he's trying to
yeah,
be the villain, even though that like people like him. It's just like I think he fully embraces that now. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna
he's
be the villain guy, and you can do nothing about it.
a comparison I heard that was great was Noah enough called him basically a Duke point guard. Just like someone like you hate to have against you, but you love to have on your team. And like I love JT and I love to have him, I love to watch him in these things. He's fiery, he's competitive, it's awesome. But I can imagine if you're an international fan or from Europe and like the European team or for the Europeans, like it's you probably hate JT in these things. Like it's the same reason we hate Poulter on the international side, just like a
Right.
JT's obviously a little better than Poulter, but just like a fiery bulldog who just annoys the hell out of the opposing team.
Yeah, and then
It's
speaking about
like that.
JT, his partner Jordan Spieth, undefeated week. Jordan Spieth played
Unbelievable.
insane this week, which is like I guess you get that from Jordan Spieth up and down roller coaster, but when you get these match play events, Jordan Spieth making an eight doesn't really matter. So it's
No.
like, um, it helps him out, and he does do well in these match plays. So Spieth had an incredible week, probably
What
MVP of the week.
yeah, I mean it was weird though. Like on Friday watching him, like he looked like he was chipping off the green. Uh like he was hitting some
That's
shots. I'm like,
prime Jordan Spieth right there. I mean,
oh, it is. Like that's the full experience. Then you go into Sunday and he's down two after the first two holes, and then he just drains every single putt after that. And I saw him chip in on 18, on 15, the old 18, 15 on Saturday. It was awesome. Uh, he's the
yeah.
full experience.
And then he goes
That's
out in a
why we love
singles
Jordan.
match and wins 4-3 against Cam Davis, who like had an okay week as well. So,
Cam Davis was
um,
great too.
yeah,
He was really impressive.
he's a good
He played all
player.
five matches. It was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, who wasn't impressive this week? Top player in the world, Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah, he wasn't good.
No wins
He
this week for Scotty Scheffler, which is
he
crazy. He was a like a match play guy. Like he always
yeah,
finishes in the top like four of that. So
and I don't. I mean, he ran to like buzzsaws. Like Sungjae and Munoz played great for the
mhm.
internationals. I guess someone who like probably no one thought of would play well. Like he played really well and beat
Munoz
Scheffler
is
one on
just like an
one.
extremely solid player. Like he always
Yeah,
plays well on the PGA Tour, but it's kind of like under the radar.
and it goes super low every now and then. And
Yeah.
like he played with Sungjae, and I think they both made. I think they made like combined like 11 or 12 birdies or something like that in their match against Scotty and Burns. Burns played great, but just never. He always ran into like the wrong guy at the wrong time, basically. Uh, Scotty wasn't good. Billy Horschel and Kisner just were not just didn't do
Yeah, they
anything.
didn't play that much, to be
No, they didn't
fair.
play much, and when they did, they weren't. I saw Kiz make an eagle on one of the par fives, but like they, I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like they didn't really add much. I saw Billy Horschel three putt, like pull a Danny Willett and three putt from like 5 feet on one hole in the singles match.
not good if you're Team Kiz,
No.
for making a Ryder Cup. I mean, this
Well,
was not
he
a good
did
course
say
fit. Not a good
he
course
did
fit.
he did say they definitely brought me here to be the party guy.
Glue
Uh,
guy. He's a glue guy.
he's a glue guy. He's a glue guy, which is like every team needs
Which,
that a
yeah,
little bit.
every team needs their glue guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, the US team, just you're right, too much firepower. Max Homa had a great week.
Max Homa was
Yeah,
awesome.
I mean, Max Homa's putting himself into the top 10 player in the world category right now. The
Yeah,
way
and
he's been playing,
he'll probably be a lock for the.
um,
Now I won't say lock, but like he'll be a very strong consideration for the Ryder Cup.
which is crazy to think how good Max Homa's gotten over the past year or so, year
Oh
and a
yeah,
half too. He's
I
been
mean
amazing.
he's up there with like on the ground. He's up there with JT and Jordan in terms of popularity and everyone screaming their name and like clapping for him as they're walking up to the green. Like it's pretty impressive, and he's
I mean, he's
awesome to watch.
16th in the world now, Max Homa.
Yeah, it feels like feels like he's playing even better than that. Like feels
Yeah,
like he's in the top 10. Um, but he was great. Kentley and
can't
Xander,
wait. Yeah, I mean,
they're both. Oh my
almost
god.
everybody in the U.S. Bar Kisner, Horschel, and Cam Young didn't really have that great of a week.
Yeah. Colin
I
Morikawa didn't play that much
Yeah,
either.
Morikawa didn't play that much. Not a good course fit for him. But like other than that, everybody else played pretty well.
Yeah.
I don't know. They had so much firepower. You're right. They're just like so much better. And like Sanjay
Yeah.
M's a very good player. You know, Adam Scott still could play. Cam Davis showed he was good, and then obviously the other
Cam
guys we
Davis
mentioned.
was
Like the international team wasn't that like bad. They weren't stacked at all, but like you could see why they could
no,
put together some points.
no, they definitely rose to the occasion, which we all kind of wanted. Like we didn't want like we wanted the US to win. I wanted the US to win, but I found myself rooting for Tom Kim all weekend. I found
Yeah,
myself
the
rooting for
underdog.
like liking Siwoo more. I found myself liking um, Cam Davis a lot more. I think a lot more people are going to know about Cam Davis.
Yeah.
It's kind of a coming out party for those guys, and they're fun. They're fun to watch. Like it's not like the Europeans where I'm hang like it was more just like a great tournament to watch, and like I'd rather watch this over any other PGA Tour event for
Yeah.
sure.
I mean, I don't know if did you see on Instagram Sanjay M posted like he came up short and Justin Thomas and Sam Burns commented Justin Thomas like you are a legend, great playing and with the goat emoji. And Sam Burns said, "You're my favorite golfer, Sanjay."
That's pretty
So
cool.
that was kind of funny. But yeah, I mean, it was definitely a good tournament to watch. It wasn't a blowout. It wasn't, we were kind of expecting it to be a US win, but yeah, it was fun to watch, and
Did
the
you
Ryder
see
Cup's gonna
Kevin
make it next year.
Kisner? You see Kevin Kisner shaking hands at the end of the
Yeah.
President's Cup. He's saying, "Well, Cagely, like you're the best looking man in America," and
Yes.
he goes to Siwoo, like Siwoo, you're the ugliest man I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
Like it's
AKA world's sexiest golfer.
yeah, bro, it's like he played well too, and
Yeah.
he only played 3 matches, and he was like you played pretty well. He was with Tom Kim on I think Saturday morning. I think he was saw him there. It was I don't know. It's they're I don't
Building
know.
something. Building something.
Maybe in 2 years, it's like the live guys are able to play and in this or something like that, or like a lot could change. And Cam Smith is back on the team. He's paired with Tom Kim in the match. Like how sick would that be? And maybe they're playing against Bryson and Brooks, and then they're just getting like so irritated with Tom Kim. Like it might piss them off so much. Like who knows what we'll see? But
Yeah.
I mean,
They're building something there. They have there's a new way of international the way that the internationals pick these teams because you know the past has not been too kind to the internationals in the President's Cup. They've only won
mhm.
once, I think. So like it's just
Them
they're
being
doing it a different
competitive,
way now.
them being competitive. Like it's one thing being competitive in Melbourne, which like they can set it up and everything, but it's another thing being competitive at Quail Hollow, at Bomber's Paradise, which Quail
Hmm.
Hollow is awesome. Like the course
Yeah,
looks
it
so
was
cool,
great. Yeah.
but when they're going to Montreal a couple of years, maybe the Canadians show up for the week. Um, mean, there's Tom Kim's getting a little better. Like he's already like in like top like 20 in the top 30 in the world, which is crazy. Like you wouldn't even
Yeah,
thought.
quick
Yeah,
get up there.
but I don't know. A lot of things could change. I'm sure the U.S. core will still be there, but who knows?
Yeah,
Maybe
we'll
more
see.
guys will live. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Um, yeah, so I guess moving on, any other big golf news this week? I saw the live lawsuit. Guys are pulling out left and right
So
of the
Phil
lawsuit
was
goes out.
Phil pulled out, right? Yeah.
A couple other guys are out, but that's something to keep an eye on. Let's see who else came out of this. Taylor Gooch, Ian Poulter, Hudson Swafford all
I
pulled out.
forgot Hudson Swafford's over there. I completely
Yes.
forgot about that name,
Yeah.
honestly. But
Um yeah, so just something to keep an eye on. I mean, the guys all said that they're pretty happy to be part of Live Golf, so no need to be in the lawsuit anymore. But
and it's yeah, whatever.
it
I
says
don't
that
even,
Answer, Ortiz, Pat Perez, Jason Kokrak are also no longer part of it, and it's only the last three players in it: Bryson DeChambeau, Matt Jones, and Peter Uline. So something to keep an eye out for.
I don't like going from the President's Cup to Live just makes me sad. I will say, being at the President's Cup, it was one of the coolest sporting events I've ever been to. Like, I'm sure the Ryder Cup will be like we're probably gonna
Ryder
rank.
Cup at Bethpage.
Oh my god, it'll
Look at
be nothing else. But it'll be like nothing else. But this was, I think it was better than like people say like, oh, you can't see much, like you can only see a few holes at a time. Like it's luckily we had my buddy, he got they got his dad had a suite and had two extra tickets. We sat there. It was right on the 15th hole, the old 18th hole. We were able to sit there, which was great. But it was truly uh, like the viewing experience. Like when they come by, like they come through. We sat on the seventh hole of par five too for a little bit, like waited for like 45 minutes for them to come. But then when they do come, it's in those few groups, and every putt and shot matters so much, and like the reactions and the crowd is so much better than I think any other PGA Tour event. Maybe like I think it's probably better than majors. And I mean, you're not going to get a reaction like Tom Kim had in the 18th hole, uh, celebrating like that, or Max Homa had on 18. Cam Davis had a putt on 18. You're not going to get those reactions, or Xander or Jordan making a putt on 15, or it's you're not going to get these reactions at any other tournament. And it was so awesome to be around and watch in person. But I can see why people wouldn't want to go to that and wait for 45 minutes on a hole and then watch 45 minutes, then jump ahead and wait 45 minutes, watch 45 minutes, like that kind of thing.
Yeah,
I can see if people
definitely.
wouldn't like that.
Close up. Yeah.
But
Definitely a fun event to be at. If you want to go to a President's Cup or a Ryder Cup, that you definitely want to be at those events. So guess that kind of wraps that up. We do have a golf tournament this week. I guess we should just get in the skins, shouldn't we?
mhm.
All right, so skins. We have the Sanderson Farms this week. Pulling up some notes from the Country Club of Jackson. I believe it's a par 74, which is always interesting.
74.
Yeah, 74, 61 yards. Yeah, it's kind of a bomber's paradise. We've been saying, in the group chats. Sam Burns won last year. Sergio Garcia, Sebastian Munoz, Ryan Cameron Champ won this tournament.
Wasn't Sergio there too? Was it 2
Yeah,
years ago?
that's 2021 he won.
Okay.
Yeah, top three strokes gain off the tee. That's kind of been a theme the last couple years for this tournament. Yeah, and then the greens are just hit at a much higher rate at this course for some reason. I don't know why. They're just like easier to hit. So yeah, I'm looking at a bomber's paradise. I am doing this totally off the cuff here, looking at a couple guys that I like. Not sure if you have somebody in mind.
I oof.
I have two names that I keep coming down to. Obviously, Sam Burns is like an overwhelming favorite here, having
Yeah.
won last year. Um,
I don't know if I like it. Like coming off of the President's Cup, though.
President's
I don't
Cup,
know.
yeah,
I mean, he played incredible, like a couple days though. But it was, I don't know. I
yeah.
don't know how to
So
feel about that.
one name that's like sticking out to me, Trey Mullinax. He's 40-1. He just kind of fits the mold of a guy who does well here. I think he was 21st in strokes gained off the tee last year. Let's see what was he in driving distance? I'm gonna click on his name here. Um, yeah, just like I don't know. His name's kind of going off here. 19th in driving distance, 9th last year. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Trey Mullinax. He has a T4 at this course last year. Obviously has a driving distance. He does well with the the putting around the green at a tournament like this. Yeah, feels like a guy who could be a player in this tournament. So I'm gonna go with him. I also like the value, 40-1.
40-1. Yeah. I mean, I kind of I'm gonna go with Steven Yeager. Finished T43 to Fortnite, sorry.
Fortnite, yes.
Um,
Battle Royale.
Battle Royale, yeah. Oh, he doesn't have that much driving distance though, but he got a lot of distance at the Fortinet plus 6.8 strokes gained the Fortinet and was good off the tee, but he also played well at the end of the year. And he's a good iron player as well. So I don't know, kind of like these kind of things just you never really know. It's like Sam Burns, like yeah, he's the overwhelming favorite. The Gala's playing, which is cool, but I'd love to see him win. But like you never really know these kind of tournaments.
Yeah, I mean the other guy that stuck out to me was JT Poston. I see him 27-1 on here, but 16-1 on another book. So it's like he's just like in pretty good form, I feel like, over the last I feel like I see his name a lot at the top of the leaderboards looking at his finishes. He made it all the way to the tour championship. He was T15.
Yeah,
This last year he had 4 top tens that all came at the end of the season. He won the John Deere earlier in the season, so his name sticks out to me a little bit.
what he won the John. Yeah, he won the John Deere.
John
That's
Deere.
right. You
He
said
finished
that. Yeah,
T2 in the Travelers the week before that. So like I don't know. He was 51st in driving distance last year, which is pretty good. Not the best, I guess. Or 51st in strokes gained off the tee, I mean. But yeah, I don't know. His name kind of sticks out, but he's also like the second favorite, so that's why I went with Molinax. But I don't know. It's gonna be an interesting tournament. I wonder how the President's Cup guys do coming off of last week. I don't know if there's anyone else playing.
How many are in the field?
I don't think anyone else is actually in the field
Besides
besides Sam Burns because he's the defending champ. Um,
Burns.
yeah, I think that's kind of it.
Yeah, okay. I don't see anyone else. Maybe like two Penders in there. I
Yeah,
don't know.
not really a stacked field at all.
No, it is not.
The Gala's playing this week.
Gala's. I mean,
Davis Riley, Keegan Bradley, but
the fact
not a
Taylor
stacked field.
JT Poston's 27-1 is
Yeah.
shows you strength of this field.
Yes.
Oh, but Zayden had in the field. He
Oh
played.
yeah.
He barely played, but he played. He was there. He was on the grounds.
He was there. His name did not show up on a lot of the leaderboards.
I think he played
More of a
two matches.
cheerleader. He did win his match against Kisner on the
He
last
did.
day. Did he play? He only played 2 matches.
I think he didn't play it all Saturday. I think he played one.
He played he played the 4 ball. Yeah, I'm looking at this.
He played Friday. Didn't play it all Saturday.
That's crazy. He went to the Ryder Cup and only played in 2 matches.
President's Cup.
Or President's Cup, sorry. Didn't change nations.
He wasn't a good course. He was like kind of Kisner though. He wasn't a great course fit. And like
yes.
Which there was like a comment from like Davis Love saying like, oh, he kind of like wanted to make it seemed like he wanted to make everyone happy and like
right.
Which if it,
I honestly think Kisner was just happy to be there. So
Kiz and Horschel were happy to be there, and like I think if it was a Ryder Cup and it was a series, like it was like a lot closer. I seriously doubt that Kisner and Horschel would have played. To be honest, like they might not. Like Max Homa didn't play on Saturday afternoon. Like Colin Morikawa didn't play on Saturday afternoon, which he maybe was the best course fit, but he played unbelievable on Friday morning, and then unbelievable on Sunday.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's an interesting proposition, but yeah, we do have the Sanderson this week. What's with that? Let's get in the clubhouse. I don't know what you had going on, but we did a little golf trip last week. A staycation golf trip. Played some courses
How was
in
that?
New
What'd you
York.
play? Hudson
So
Hills,
we played Hudson Hills, we played half of Centennial, and then we played Patriot Hills. So
half a
Hudson Hills was
Centennial.
like Hudson Hills was so hard.
Yeah,
Yes, we also like tried to play it from the tips, which was just a terrible decision on
like
our
7,000
side.
yards.
Yeah, I didn't want to play from the tips, but we did. Um, yeah, it was just like a lot of like blind shots, and I don't like
Yep,
golf courses with, like blind shots, elevation changes, like all that, and like my
so much
cart GPS
elevation.
wasn't working. We played it was like a 5 hour round because like we had never played there before, and like all the blind shots, like there was we a lot of lost balls on the first couple holes because we like
Yeah,
just had no idea where like we would hit them down the middle and then be like, okay, where's the ball? Um,
that doesn't really surprise me with that place.
yeah, and then
It's
we played Centennial on Thursday. We were the only ones on the golf course because there was a heavy rain in the forecast. We got through about 7 holes, and it started pouring out, like just absolutely pouring.
that's
To the point
unfortunate.
where like that was also another very hilly course up and down to the point where our carts were
Mhm.
like skidding on the ground. Like we almost flipped a
Ah,
couple
jeez.
carts. We had to take a half an hour to get down a hill on neutral, like holding the cart on like one side so it wouldn't flip over. We did that yeah, and at that point I was like, all right, we're not finishing this round. It was cool to be the only ones out there for the first 5 holes before it started raining. That was fun.
Yeah,
But yeah, we ended up only playing 9, got a rain check. We'll go back there when the weather's good.
that's good. At
Um
least.
yeah, and then on Friday we played Patriot Hills, which Patriot Hills, I it wasn't on my radar before this golf trip. I kind of just found it, was Googling around. That's a sick golf course. I would definitely
Really,
recommend that course if you want to go play somewhere. Um, just
Patriot.
like
I've never
it's
even
like in
heard
the
of
like mountains of Rockland County, and it's just such a nice course. I don't know how to explain it. You pull up, and it's like it's on the grounds of like an old insane asylum. It's like an abandoned insane asylum. So you pull
it.
up and you're like, where am I? Like this is like so creepy, so weird. Where am I? And then all of a sudden there's a golf course that's like just in the mountains, a lot of like high elevation shots. Was a pretty sick golf course. So I would
It looks
recommend that
pretty
if you're in the
cool.
New York area.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
looks. I'm looking at the pictures right now. It looks pretty cool, actually.
yeah. I mean, yeah, I would definitely recommend that golf course. It was in great condition as well. So um yeah. So overall, pretty good trip.
Yeah,
Would do again.
I gotta come back up and play again. I don't think I'll come back up to Thanksgiving. Maybe it'll be warm enough to play
Well,
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving
We,
scramble. We have the scramble to do
yeah,
before
we have our
Thanksgiving.
scramble. You're right. It's the Wednesday
What's the over
before, right?
under this year? 5 man scramble.
I'll be there. What did we shoot last? We shot 60. Did
We
we shoot
shot
60?
60, just 60, even 60. Over under 61 and a half. I got right now.
If we're all there, 61 and a half. I think that's a good one. We have to do it again.
Yeah, we need to break 60. We left some on the table last year.
I'm actually about to text in the group chat saying like, all right, we're doing this Thanksgiving scramble again, right?
Yes, absolutely. 100%. That's a tradition now.
Shoot, I gotta prepare. I haven't even used my Rapsodo yet. I was supposed to. I was going to this weekend, and then President's Cup and football happened. We have a big matchup this weekend: Bears versus Giants. Two
Yeah.
prime time 2-1 teams ready for high scoring affair.
Yes. Maybe if the defenses score the touchdown.
We might finish 5-3 final score.
Yes.
Very
That
very low.
honestly, I'd be okay with that if it went in my
I'd be
way.
okay with that too.
Um, yeah, I don't know. So we did play some golf. It was pretty fun. I didn't play terrible. I didn't play great, but you know, new courses and I would go back. So let's do it.
Yeah.
Would definitely do it again.
I don't have anything else to add.
Yeah, I guess enjoy the Sanderson Farms this week, and we'll be back next week with something to talk about. Hopefully. I mean,
What is next week? Let's turn this next week.
I don't know. They like realigned the schedule, and it's just screwed me up.
We have to. I'm also really looking. The game. This being
Oh,
this.
next week's the Shriners in Vegas.
Oh, interesting. That's probably a decent field. Wasn't it
Yeah, no,
one?
that's usually a good field. TBC Summerlin.
Okay. All right. I will say I'm gonna be I might be this podcast Ryder Cup guy from now on because I'm all in on the team events, all in. It was
Boots
so
on the
fun.
ground. You have to just go to all of them
Boots
though.
on the ground. I like Beth Page. I'm 100% going
Bethpage
Beth
could be so
Page.
good.
I'm
Still a
there.
while away.
Yeah, still a while away, but the next President's Cup is in Medina too, so I'm like maybe I'll go to that. Like Beth Page though, can't wait, even though it's 3 years away.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess that does it for this week. We'll see you next week.